Today we're going to make a really interesting cocktail called the Tiger's Claw. The drink was created by renowned bartender Eric Castro at Gilly's House of Cocktails in San Diego. And it's a tequila-based drink that blends the flavors of coffee, pineapple, and cinnamon. And even though it's a tropical inspired drink, it has a very distinct coffee flavor. So if you're into coffee, this is right up your alley. Now before we get started making the drink, let's go ahead and talk about the ingredients that go into it, because there are quite a few. And they begin with the tequila. So this cocktail was meant to be made with a reposado tequila. You could use pretty much any brand that you want, but I'm using Cazadores Reposado today. And for the coffee liqueur, I'm gonna be using Mr. Black. There's lots of different coffee liqueurs that you could choose from. This recipe doesn't call for any coffee liqueur in particular. Initially, I thought about using Kahlua, but Kahlua has so much sugar and this drink has so many other sweet ingredients in it that I wanted to go with a coffee liqueur that's not quite as sweet, but still has a really strong coffee flavor. So Mr. Black was the perfect choice for me. And for the cinnamon flavor that goes into the drink, we're gonna be using a cinnamon syrup. Now this is just my homemade cinnamon recipe, which is 1.5 parts sugar to 1 part water, and then I infuse it with cinnamon overnight. If you wanna know exactly how to make it, I'll put a link in the description down below. And we are also gonna need some pineapple juice. So if you can get your hands on some fresh pressed, that is always ideal. You can press it yourself or find it at the grocery store in a carton. If you can't find that and you need to use canned, it's perfectly fine. I've made the drink both ways and really it wasn't an issue. Now to balance off some of the sweeter ingredients, we're also gonna need some lime juice. So you're gonna need 1 lime and also orange bitters. This drink is a shaken cocktail, but I figured since it's got the pineapple in it and we really want to get a nice frothy head from it, we're going to use a spindle blender today because that's going to really aerate it and make it nice and light and give it that foam at the top that you really want on this drink. So we'll just begin by adding our ingredients to our blending tin. And we'll start with the Cazadores. And we'll add 2 ounces of reposado tequila to the mixing tin. Next is the Mr. Black. Again, you could use any coffee liqueur that you want. They all work in this cocktail. We'll add 1/2 ounce of our coffee liqueur. Then the cinnamon, we'll add 1/2 ounce of cinnamon syrup. And then 1 ounce of pineapple juice. Then it's time to add our lime. So we'll just cut our lime in half. We're gonna measure out 3/4 of an ounce and then add that to the blender tin. And lastly, we'll add the bitters. We're gonna do 2 dashes of orange bitters, but I'm using a Japanese dasher, so just multiply that by 3 because they're really small dashes. Then we'll just add some ice before we blend it up. Once we've got our ice in there, we're just going to put it on the spindle blender. Now I'm going to just pulse this a couple of times. It's not gonna take a lot of blending to get this thing kind of frothy and foamy, just because there's proteins in the pineapple juice, and that really gives it structure and creates that head that we're looking for. So we'll just blend this for a moment. And you can actually see when you spindle blend it, the volume increases in the mixing tin. We'll just add it to our glass. You can see how foamy that is already. We'll add just a little bit more ice just to top it off. And the garnish for this cocktail is going to be an orange wheel and mint. So we will just slice a nice thin orange wheel. Just like that. Pop it right in. Got a few sprigs of mint. Give it a slap. Garnish right on top. And a nice long straw. Get you in there. That is the Tiger's Claw. It's a good looking drink. Tall, sexy. It's not really intense on the tequila flavor. I would say that the coffee flavor is very dominant in this. So if you are a coffee drink kind of a person, or you like that coffee flavor, you'll definitely appreciate this. It's a layered drink where you get all of the different components. Some are more subtle, some kind of stand out, and they play with each other. A little dance on your tongue. If you think about it, this actually does make a lot of sense, because tequila and orange and cinnamon are sort of this classic combo. Pineapple and tequila go perfectly fine together. Cinnamon and coffee work perfectly fine. I feel like the only part of the drink that doesn't make sense is the pineapple and coffee. And maybe that's just my own lack of experience. I just never really thought to throw pineapple and coffee together with tequila. I mean, it's a cool looking drink, and there really aren't any other cocktails that I can think of that are like this. So I like it for its unique kind of character. Anyway, that's it for the Tiger's Claw, which is an interesting cocktail with a lot of layered flavors. Whether you're a tequila lover, or you like coffee drinks, or you just like tropical cocktails, I think this is one of those, blends that has something for everybody. If you have any thoughts about today's video, don't forget to leave a comment down below and let me know what you think. And that's it. I guess we're on to the next drink. So, cheers. I start getting dizzy after I've been standing here for a while. Yeah.